So you know this dude, Owen Benjamin? He is no relation to John Benjamin.
He's actually he's my new favorite person.
Well, let's.
The one who couldn't keep his hands to himself at the casino.
Is that right?
That guy.
Oh, yes. This is the guy who.
We don't know 100.
Who
Allegedly.
According to
But I
a
believe
caller, smacked a guy at the Foxwoods Casino performance.
And this
or was it Mohegan Sun?
I
One
thought
of
it
those.
was I thought it was Mohegan Sun, which sounds funnier. And maybe this clip, which is a great clip, maybe though it could give you some insight into his fragile state of mind and why, if the alleged incident happened, he might be reacting.
That's right. And so Owen Benjamin, well, you know what? We're going to start with this one. So Owen Benjamin did a video for Prager University where he's explaining that comedy is a precious thing and that black people being sensitive about being black is really, really harming comedy. And we all know the famous saying, first they came for the comedians and I said nothing. Then they came for the cabaret actors and I said nothing. Then they came for the professional dancers. I mean, it goes on and on. You understand what I'm saying. But here he is at Prager University, the wholly subsidized libertarian project, espousing the need to have more, espousing the need for black people to have more understanding about white comedians. And our buddy Nathan Bernard, right? Oh, this isn't the edit? Oh, I thought that's what it was. All right, well, let's watch the Prager University, but then let's come up with the edited version.
3 white men walk into a bar. You're a racist. Is that a joke? In today's hypersensitive world, it's hard to know what's funny anymore. And as someone who makes his living as a comedian, that's a big problem. Ask Jerry Seinfeld. He's announced he won't play college campuses. He doesn't want to deal with all the political correctness.
Pause it.
And he's not exactly...
Jerry Seinfeld didn't play colleges.
Do college kids even like Jerry Seinfeld these days?
You know what happens when Jerry Seinfeld shows up there? They go, who's that old dude? You know who else is not playing college campuses anymore? Bob Hope. He also stopped playing college campuses.
Burn.
Good.
edgy. Comedy is important. Why? Because it's a pressure valve that allows us to discuss uncomfortable truths in a friendly way. Laughs are better than punches. But identity
pause it for 1 second. So in other words, it allows, I'm sure Owen Benjamin is really dealing with some uncomfortable truths about himself. Or about people like him. It's just like, it allows me to say things that are uncomfortable for you and have fun with it, but you're ruining it by not having fun with it.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's talking about hitting someone.
That is also sort of interesting, too.
We could do this the comedy way or the assault at Mohegan Sun way.
Let's go.
Politics is killing the gag. How many times have you heard someone say something like this? You're not black, so you don't know what it's like to be me. You're a man, so you can't have an opinion about any issues affecting women. As a left-handed pansexual.
Pause it. How many times have you heard someone say, you're a man, you can't have an opinion about any issues affecting women? Now, I have to say, I run in fairly what he would call identity politic-y circles.
SJW
circles. And I have to say, I have never heard anyone say that to me. Continue.
As a left-handed pansexual leprechaun, only I really know about elevator safety. Comedy only works when we agree on certain realities.
I don't know what that is, except for the guy apparently is taking an elevator to hell. Is that what that was about?
No idea.
All right.
Comedy only works when we agree on certain realities. Take this joke. Why do you always go fishing with at least 2 Baptists? Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer. The reason this gets a laugh is because most of us recognize that many religious people are a little more religious around other religious people. That hypocrisy is funny because everyone can relate to it on some
Pause
level.
it for 1 second. Wait a second.
I didn't.
Was that joke actually supposed to be funny? Or was he? Is he being? Is there going to be some type of reveal where he goes, see, that joke wasn't really funny?
I'm gonna say no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, that's genuine.
Wait, go back. I need to hear this joke again.
The
'cause
whole the whole joke.
No, the two Baptists are in a.
Yeah.
3 Baptists are fishing.
I know you're friends with a lot of really funny people, but some comedians are just bad.
Well, I'm not. Believe me.
You're like
I'm
so
not friends with this guy.
incredulous
Go
that
ahead.
anyone could be
This
this
joke.
bad.
Why do you always go fishing with at least 2 Baptists? Because if you only take one, he'll drink all your beer. The reason this gets a laugh is because
I get it. People
didn't
are
understand?
pretending that they're religious
It's
only.
because the other guy.
But is there some type of Baptist edict that you're not supposed to drink alcohol?
Well, Baptists are known to be low IQ morons, and that's not politically correct to say. But I will say it because I'm an honest
But wait a second.
interlocutor.
Are they anti-alcohol?
Around
Oh, is
other
that right?
Baptists.
Oh, okay.
There's
okay.
a 2 beer per 2-person
Okay. All right. That-
most of us recognize that many religious people are a little more religious around other religious people. That hypocrisy is funny because everyone can relate to it on some level. We're all a little hypocritical now and then. The problem is that today, fewer and fewer people seem to agree on the basics.
That joke
That
would
is-
actually be
that's-
a lot funnier if it was a Muslim.
that is.
I mean, I actually like legit. That would be a kind of funny joke if it had 2 Muslims on
The
boat.
problem is that not enough people agree with Owen Benjamin on the basics as to what is funny. That is the problem with comedy today. Now, here is our buddy Nathan Bernard interspersed that video with another funny bit that Owen Benjamin did. And if you don't find it funny, it's just because you, unfortunately for comedy, don't share the same understanding of the world. Here it is.
Comedy is important, but identity politics is killing the gag. How many times have you heard someone say something like this? You're not black, so you don't know what it's like to be me. Look, there's the chain. It's been sawed in half. Someone definitely took my bike. It couldn't be the black guy over there sitting on the thing that looks exactly like my bike. Because everyone thinks, everyone gives black people a hard time, and I'm not going to be a racist, even though it does have my name written on it the exact way I wrote my name on it. Should I say something? No. I don't want to perpetuate any stereotypes, but that nigger stole my bike! That nigger stole my bike! You're a racist.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now, the funny part is that people should understand is that
Maybe he needs to explain it to us some more so we can understand
Yeah.
it.
But it's just
there's
so
going to
funny.
be a
Like
Prager University video on why
yesterday,
that joke was funny.
Like apparently, Leslie Jones was on The View. I think that yesterday, or the day before, and it's just and also like Judy Gold. I did watch. She did do this Vice thing where she was like, "Yeah, college kids are ridiculous and they don't get comedy." And Leslie Jones was like, "People need to stop like digging up old bits and bothering comedians on Twitter, basically." And I agree with all those sentiments completely. But what's just amazing is like these guys use this like sort of Twitter culture war rhetoric to just slide in like it's not even comedy. That's just racism.
Yeah.
That's not a joke. There's no satire. There's nothing like we're going to play an edge here for a payoff. That's just like you want to say that word, dude. That's it.
Yeah.
Well-
I think there's a lot. I think that's a lot. There's a lot to that.
I think a lot of comedy does work because people have common experiences with the comedian. But if somebody is that fucking racist, like, I'm not going to identify with that. Like, I don't think any of us here would have a problem, like, if we saw someone stealing our bike to say, like, fuck you, give me my bike back. But
Well,
like,
I would say,
Not if they were
excuse
black.
me.
If they were black, I would be like, I was just interviewing Marisa Baradaran on the history of banking and capitalism in this country. So please take my bike. And also, I apologize. That's the character that they. But like Howard Stern had stuff all the time on his show, which genuinely, like, I mean, it was funny, but you could argue either way. I think, like, if you wanted to evaluate it politically, like where the line was of what was actually being mocked. But you could always make the case that, you know, that the object of the satire, like, was actually those racial attitudes,
Right.
But in a way that really, yes, for people who are too uptight and don't have a sense of humor and triggered by words and are literalists, they would be offended by it. But he wasn't just doing that. Like,
Right.
that's just garbage.
Right.
That's not comedy.
Right. It's a guy. I mean, first of all, look, the tip off is when you got to lean on the piano.
Right.
That's a tip off.
It's like, dude, you just want to use the word. You don't want to say, I'm going to go for something and pull off using that word, and I might fail.
Now,
You just want to use the word because you're an asshole. Sorry. Go
with
ahead.
all that we had to say about Owen Benjamin being, full of crap about his attempting to justify the importance of comedy. And look, I made a ton of money via comedy in one form or another. So on some level, it's important to me. But in terms of society, the idea that Owen Benjamin can't play at a college campus could not have less importance in any shape or form. The idea that you would not get paid $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to perform at a college, I can assure you, colleges will be better off if they don't pay for headline comedians. It's not necessary. It is a draw on student activities funds, which could be spent other places in more interesting ways. So I don't think there's a net negative to be found. With all that said about Owen Benjamin, here is his finest hour, where he talks about how much he resents all the people in the
The intellectual dark web.
the intellectual
This is
dark
by far
web.
his best. He's been somebody who I've just, regardless of content, I've always been like, how is this guy even a comedian? He's profoundly unfunny. I finally get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's this is his finest hour, and of course, like all conservatives, it comes out of his own sense of being aggrieved.
Keeping a list of the people that when you're down, they take shots. They take little shots. And when fuck Eric Weinstein, man. When I lost my Twitter is when he told me I was bad for his brand and that we weren't going to be close friends anymore and I was filled with too much chaos. Oh, you think maybe it's because I don't have 126,000 followers that can help spread your shit? Is that maybe not part of it? Or you got a little shiver that if you speak your mind that the powerful people in Silicon Valley can take it all from you, and that made you a little scared, made you rethink your friendships. Which one is it? Which fucking one is it? Because I know it's not chaos, because you're friends with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's the most chaotic person I've ever met. Granted, he's very disciplined, but he'll be like, oh, dude, today it's all about freezing your dick and shooting a bow and arrow and taking mushrooms, doing comedy, and then shooting guns. Like, okay, so that isn't chaotic? Oh, wait a minute. It's about money and power, huh? And not about ethics, and not about doing the right thing or any of this shit. But I'm the bad guy, right? I'm the fucking bad guy. You bunch of coward fucks. Intellectual dark web. More like intellectual fag web. Bunch of fags. Oh, don't say that word. I mean, listen, we're here for free speech and we're here for free expression, but not these words and not this statement. And if you do this, we won't hang out with you. Oh, and never make fun of Sam Harris because he's our atheist Jesus. Sam Harris is their leader, by the way. Just know that. He's the guy that they all get scared of. Sam fucking Big Ears Harris. His mom invented Golden Girls. He's a rich kid from LA. He was born with a silver spoon in his dick hole. Golden Girls. You know how much money that is? You know how much money he was raised with? That's why he could sit for 20 days in a goddamn no talking retreat in the woods. You wanna know why? Because the fucker has a trust fund.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fuck you
That is-
forever.
Fuck you forever. No one wants to be friends with me anymore. Is it because I'm banned from Twitter? They loved my fag jokes when my Twitter was still up.
That's right.
Totally unfair.
It is one of
But the most perfect description of Sam Harris. I'm sorry. Like, to the T. That is there's really nothing else. I mean, I'm writing a book about it, so I guess I
Listen,
shouldn't say this.
here's-
But what else do you need to know about Sam Harris?
Here is here is what I would ask people to do. Please go over, give that video a click. It would be so awesome if Owen Benjamin's career could just turn into turning on all those people.
Yes.
That would be fun. And these guys follow the clicks all the time.
The intolerant IDW.
That's
You know,
right.
It's just all of a sudden, by the end of it, he's like, and that's why I'm an advocate for reparations, and I'm a classical moderate.
The
It is-
international fag web.
yeah, the IFW. Go
my
for it,
God.
dude. That's all you.
It's so good to watch these assholes destroy each other and turn against one another because they're essentially antisocial. That's their whole entire ideology. So, of course, they're not going to get along. They're going to cannibalize each other in ways that are funny to watch.
It's also like I also like the angle because I really do with Joe Rogan. Like his relationship with Sam Harris is super bizarre, and I actually like the idea of like the angle for Rogan being like, dude, like, you know, spread your wings. Why are you afraid of this? Like, you know, this nasty nerd Ben Stiller guy. Like, come on, buddy.